The second episode of Soul Land 2. The Unrivaled Tang Sect opens with a perilous mission that pushes Huo Yuhao and Tang Wutong to their limits. To save the Tianhun Empire from destruction, the two venture into the sinister depths of the Mingdou Mountains, where danger and death lurk behind every shadow. Their destination is the dreaded Death Tower, a place shrouded in mystery and known for its merciless killing intent. Even the most powerful titled Douluo dare not approach it easily, yet for the sake of his empire and to uncover the secrets hidden within, Huo Yuhao steps forward into the unknown, his determination unshaken. Huo Yuhao originally planned to face this trial alone. He knew the journey was filled with deadly traps and ominous auras that could crush anyone unprepared. What he didn't know was that Tang Wutong, unable to bear the thought of losing him, had secretly followed him using her unique divine abilities to conceal her presence. When she finally revealed herself, her eyes were filled with both worry and determination. She refused to let him carry the burden alone, declaring that as his partner, she would walk beside him no matter what dangers awaited ahead. Together, they began their approach toward the towering structure that pierced the heavens, the Death Tower. The ground trembled with every step they took, and the air itself seemed filled with the cries of the departed. Every brick and rune inscribed upon the tower pulsed with resentment from countless fallen souls, forming a fortress of endless death energy. Even standing near it made one's spirit tremble. Huo Yuhao, ever cautious, urged Tang Wutong to stay behind while he advanced first. He wanted to shoulder the risk himself, but before they could reach the summit, the Death Tower reacted violently, as though sensing their intrusion. Without warning, a beam of pitch-black energy shot forth from the tower's peak, filled with the power of destruction. It locked onto Tang Wutong in an instant. Even a titled Dalu would have perished instantly under such force. In that critical moment, without hesitation, Huo Yuhao activated the mysterious Nether Exchange, a life-saving ability that allowed him to swap his position with another. Tang Wutong vanished from the line of fire, and Huo Yuhao took her place. The black beam struck him directly, and a resounding explosion filled the mountains. Tang Wutong screamed his name as Huo Yuhao's body was engulfed in darkness. The Death Tower's attack pierced his spiritual defenses and invaded his consciousness. A storm of resentful spirits flooded into his mind, tearing at his soul and eroding his vitality. His body trembled violently, his spiritual sea collapsing under the immense pressure. Yet even in the midst of agony, his mind clung to one image, Tang Wutong's tearful face. For her sake, he endured. For her, he would not fall. But Huo Yuhao was not entirely alone. Hidden deep within his spiritual sea lay a mysterious link. The Black Dragon's reverse scale, bestowed upon him by none other than the Beast God Di Tian, the sovereign ruler of the Stardew Great Forest. Long ago, Di Tian had promised that when Huo Yuhao's life faced true peril, the reverse scale would awaken to shield him. And now that promise was about to be fulfilled. Far away in the depths of the Stardew Great Forest, Di Tian's eyes snapped open. His immense spiritual sense felt Huo Yuhao's torment. Through their shared connection, he could sense the power of the Death Tower's attack trying to devour Huo Yuhao's soul. With a roar that shook the heavens, Di Tian's power surged forth, crossing the vast distance in an instant. A golden black dragon's shadow erupted within Huo Yuhao's consciousness, shielding him from the tower's deadly curse. The Death Tower's dark energy clashed with Di Tian's divine might, creating a violent storm that shattered mountains and cracked the earth. Though Di Tian managed to block the lethal strike and save Huo Yuhao's life, the backlash was immense. The Beast God himself staggered in the Stardew Great Forest, blood spilling from his lips. It had been countless years since Di Tian last bled, a testament to the terrifying might of the Death Tower. Even so, his gaze remained cold and resolute. Huo Yuhao carried the fate of all soul beasts. Losing him was not an option. With Di Tian's intervention, Huo Yuhao barely managed to stand again. His soul was trembling, his body nearly broken, but his determination only grew stronger. He realized that the Death Tower was far more dangerous than he had ever imagined. It was not merely a weapon, it was a living fortress, infused with the hatred of countless souls who had perished within its walls. If not for Di Tian's protection, he would have been consumed completely. At that moment, reinforcements from the Starluo Empire's titled Douluo arrived. preparing to launch an assault on the Death Tower. Yet before they could act, a cold and ancient aura descended from above. The Death Douluo Ye Xishui appeared, a legendary figure whose mere presence silenced the winds. Her aura carried the power of the Limit Douluo realm, suffocating all who stood beneath her. She looked upon the gathered humans with disdain, her blood-red eyes brimming with killing intent. Ye Xishui's arrival threw everything into chaos. With a single wave of her hand, the sky darkened, and the surrounding energy was twisted into a vortex of death. The titled Douluo from the Star Luo Empire were swept aside like leaves in a storm. Huo Yuhao, still injured, tried to resist but was swiftly captured by her overwhelming spiritual pressure. Her voice echoed coldly as she declared that none who defied the Death Tower would leave alive. Originally, Ye Xishui had no particular interest in Huo Yuhao. Her first targets were the invading titled Dalu, but when she heard him call out his master's name, Moon En, the one who had long opposed her, her fury ignited. Her killing intent surged, and she grasped Huo Yuhao by the throat, intent on crushing him where he stood. Tang Wutong cried out, but she was powerless to stop her. However, just as Ye Xishui's death energy began to invade Huo Yuhao's body, a terrifying force erupted from within him. His eyes turned golden black, and a dragon's roar thundered across the heavens. The sky darkened, the earth trembled, and even Ye Xishui paused in shock. The Beast God Di Tian had descended once more, not as a distant protector this time, but through possession. His spirit merged with Huo Yuhao's body, transforming the young man into a vessel of the Beast God's wrath. Huo Yuhao's body straightened, and his aura surged to a level that defied comprehension. The oppressive force radiating from him shattered the death energy surrounding him. His gaze, now carrying Di Tian's ancient majesty, locked onto Ye Xishui. Ye Xishui! Di Tian's voice rumbled through Huo Yuhao's lips. You dare touch the one under my protection? You overestimate your courage. Ye Xishui's eyes widened. She recognized that voice instantly. The ruler of all soul beasts, the being who had lived for 700,000 years, the one whose strength rivaled the gods themselves. She tried to maintain her composure, coldly replying that even if he possessed Huo Yuhao, Di Tian's true strength could not manifest through a human body. But her voice trembled slightly, betraying her fear. Di Tian only laughed, a deep, thunderous sound that shook the skies. You think I need my true form to destroy you? He said coldly. Do not mistake mercy for weakness. If I unleash my full essence here, not even your soul will remain. His words cut through the air like divine judgment, and the sheer killing intent that followed forced Ye Xishui to step back unconsciously. In that instant, the phantom of a colossal black dragon appeared behind Huo Yuhao, stretching across the heavens. Its golden eyes gleamed like suns, and the aura of destruction it released caused even Ye Xishui's spirit to waver. She realized that if Di Tian truly unleashed his full power, she would not survive. The Death Tower trembled as if sensing her hesitation. Faced with the overwhelming presence of the Beast God, Ye Xishui's arrogance faded. Though she was a Limit Douluo, even she dared not challenge a being of such magnitude. With one last glare, she retreated into the shadows, her form vanishing into the mist. The battle was over, not with blades or spirit skills, but with sheer dominance. As her presence faded, the phantom of the black dragon slowly dissipated. Di Tian's voice softened, echoing in Huo Yuhao's mind. You carry the hope of both humans and soul beasts. Do not waste this life I've protected for you. Then his power withdrew, and Huo Yuhao collapsed, exhausted but alive. Tang Wutong rushed forward, tears streaming down her face as she held him in her arms. The Death Tower still loomed above them, silent and ominous, its power undiminished. Yet in that moment, Huo Yuhao had survived the impossible. He had stood at the brink of death, faced the wrath of a Limit Douluo, and witnessed the true might of the Beast God. The Mingdou Mountains had become a battlefield between gods and mortals, and the echoes of that confrontation would be remembered for generations. The legend of Huo Yuhao, the man blessed and protected by the Beast God, would continue to unfold. A tale of courage, destiny, and the bond between human and spirit beast that would one day change the fate of both worlds forever. And that marks the end of this intense episode of Soul Land 2, the Unrivaled Tang Sect. From Huo Yuhao's selfless rescue of Tang Wutong to the shocking moment when the Beast God Di Tian personally possessed him, this chapter was filled with breathtaking twists and overwhelming power. The Death Tower's terrifying might, Di Tian's bloodshed for Yuhao's sake, and Ye Xishui's fear before true dominion. Every moment pushed the story to new heights. Huo Yuhao once again proved that his courage and determination know no bounds. Even standing between death and despair, he continues to carry the fate of both humans and spirit beasts. The bond between him and Di Tian, born from conflict yet strengthened through trust, has become one of the most powerful forces in the Douluo continent. But this victory is far from the end. The Death Tower still stands, its secrets untouched, and Ye Xishui's retreat may only be the calm before another storm. What new dangers will Huo Yuhao and Tang Wutong face next? Will Di Tian's intervention bring greater consequences for both races? If you're excited to see how the clash between the Divine Beast and the Limit Douluo unfolds, don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode of Soul Land 2, the Unrivaled Tang Sect. The story of Huo Yuhao's rise is only just beginning, and the path ahead will be even more extraordinary.